Hey, what's up guys? It's George here, the remote seller. There are a lot of Amazon gurus out there who claim you can make a lot of money by selling on Amazon. There are many cheap and expensive courses out there. In this video, we're going to ask the question, do Amazon sellers make a lot of money? We're going to go through a few articles and come to a conclusion. Let's go see. So firstly, let's see how much Amazon actually makes as a company. So according to this Insider Intelligence article, net sales increased by 15% to $127.1 billion in quarter 3 of 2022, which is up from $110 billion of that same quarter in 2021. All right, so we have the number $127 billion in this case, okay? So quarter 3 is not even the biggest quarter of the year. It's not even an average quarter in my opinion. I think it's a below average quarter because people are looking forward to quarter 4, Christmas and all that, and sales really take a huge bump there, and they kind of slow down in quarter 3. So I would assume that quarter 3 is a slower quarter. So it's good as a conservative estimate to use this number. So let's say 127.1 billion, that's 12.7. Okay, so that's $127.1 billion, and let's times that by 4 quarters. So according to this, we have $508 billion, $400 million in sales on Amazon per year, or in 2022 at least. According to this article, they're assuming that that number will increase to 746.22 billion in 2023. Okay, so we'll see what happens at the end of the year. Now, out of all these sales that are occurring on Amazon yearly, what percentage of those can be attributed to third-party sellers? So let's move over to this next article now. So we have this article here by Statista, and it tracks the percentage of Amazon sales that are attributed to third-party sellers. So back in quarter 2 of 2013, that number was 40%. So 40% of all sales occurring on Amazon were done by third-party sellers. Fast forward to today, that number is 59%. So quarter 4 of 2022 was 59% of all sales were done by third-party sellers. So what does that mean? So if we get our number here, that 508 billion, 400 million, and divide that by, or actually times that by 59% of all sales, 0.59, we can see that just under $300 billion of all sales on Amazon were done by third-party sellers, which is a huge number, just massive. Next, let's try to establish how many sellers there are on Amazon. So according to this Helium 10 article, it says that there are a total of 6.3 million Amazon sellers registered worldwide. But out of those 6.3 million, only 1.5 million are active sellers today. They're actually selling. So the rest aren't really selling. They're people that created accounts, but they're not selling. But the 1.5 million sellers that he says here are actually active sellers on Amazon. So let's just hypothetically assume that every one of these sellers had an equal share of the massive $300 billion Amazon pie. So what would that mean? So let's divide this by 1.5 million sellers. So if it was equal, it would mean that each seller will be making $200,000 in sales yearly. Now, of course, it's not going to be equal. Some sellers are struggling, to find products. Other sellers are, just doing it part-time, weekend hustle or something like that, or just, a few hours a day. So it's not going to be equal. So out of these 1.5 million sellers, let's see how much of them are actually making bank and killing it on Amazon. So let's go to this article here. Now, it's a 2019 article, but it's very interesting, and I'll show you why, because you actually see the evolution of Amazon. So according to this article here, 206,000 sellers were doing over $100,000 a year in sales, okay? Out of those 206,000, just under 100 or 99,000 were doing 250,000 in sales. 50,000 were doing over 500 in sales. 32,000 were doing over 750, and 23,000 were doing over $1 million, and so on. So we have, it keeps going all the way up. Just under 889 sellers were doing over 10 million. 20 sellers were doing over 100 million, and 1 seller was doing over 500 million. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is because we have an article here from 2021, which is just 2 years later, and we can see how much these numbers have grown. So according to this, 60,000 sellers had achieved over $1 million in sales in Amazon marketplaces worldwide. So 60,000 doing over $1 million. So if you go back 2 years, it was only 23,000 doing over $1 million. So that's almost 3x. And if you look at this, all these numbers have grown. So you have 9,500 sellers doing over 5 million. Over 5 million was only 2,646 six sellers in 2019. So that's 3x as well, more than 3x. And you will also have 180 sellers doing over 50 million in sales. 180 sellers doing 50 million sales. It was only 60 sellers in 2019, and 50 sellers doing over 100 million in sales. So 100 million, 50 sellers, it was 20, now it's 50. So all these numbers are going up, and there's no reason not to assume that they haven't gone up in 2022 and won't continue to go up in 2023. Now, another interesting thing that we can look at here is which selling model the majority of sellers sell under. So we have this, this article here. It's called the State of the Union by Jungle Scout. So I just want to show you this. Now, according to this, what we see here is the selling models that most sellers do. So we have 59% of sellers that do private label, 26% do wholesale, 26% do retail arbitrage, 23% do online arbitrage, 10% do drop shipping, which is against Amazon's terms of service, but some people still manage to do it, and 8% do handmade. Now, obviously, all these numbers don't equal 100% because some sellers do multiple methods. There might be a private label seller doing a bit of a wholesale, or a wholesale seller doing a bit of retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, or someone doing online arbitrage trying out some private label. So that's why these numbers don't add up to 100. But these are the most popular selling methods according to this Jungle Scout article. So we have established that there are some Amazon sellers out there making a ton of money. There are many who will make more than doctors and lawyers, and some, it seems, make even more than movie stars and world-class athletes. But it's time to throw a wrench in that newfound dream of yours of becoming a billion-dollar Amazon seller. We have to be realistic though. That seller that is making $25 million a year, of course, has a lot of expenses. They have employees on their payroll, they have warehouses, they have offices, they have machinery, they have very expensive software. But most importantly, that $25 million a year is not profit. Most businesses, after all expenses are accounted for, make between 12 and maybe 25% profit margin on their sales. Some might even make as low as 5%. Others are even struggling to make a profit sometimes. So the seller, for example, who's making about $100,000 a year in sales is probably only making between maybe $12,000 and $25,000 a year in actual profit, which is really not enough money to make a living in the Western world. So on an individual level, you'd probably want to sell around $500,000 worth of products to make a profit of around maybe $60 to $120, maybe $150,000 worth of profit, which is actually decent money. So as you can see, out of the 1.5 million Amazon sellers out there, only 10 or maybe 20% are really doing well on Amazon, or well enough to live in a Western country. So that's roughly 10 to 20% of Amazon sellers are actually doing okay. But honestly speaking, guys, that's the same of any industry out there. The Pareto principle, for example, states that 80% of all the consequences come from 20% of all the causes. And this can also apply to Amazon, but a lot of things in life. For example, 20% of the people control 80% of the wealth. 20% of the patients use 80% of the healthcare resources. 20% of the co-workers cause 80% of the problems in your office. 20% of the criminals commit 80% of all the crimes. 20% of all your employees are responsible for 80% of all the results. 20% of all basketball players score 80% of all the points. There are many examples of the Pareto principle in effect. Now, I'm not sure how many of them are true, but you can honestly understand that a small percentage of all the people produce most of the results in the world. So there's no reason not to believe that this also applies to Amazon sellers. So if you want to kill it on Amazon, just like as in life, you have to work your butt off, use your head, and not give up. I hope you liked this video, guys. Post a comment below if you want to see anything else in an upcoming video. Check out my website in the description below. I provide links to these articles as well as more resources, PDFs and Excels, as well as advice on killing it on Amazon as a wholesale seller. Post a comment below on what you'd like to see in an upcoming video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.